What is going on, everybody? What is going on? Little impromptu live stream. I wasn't really planning on going live, and I'm not, as you can see, I don't even have everything set up. I wasn't planning on going live. I just thought, you know what? I got a little bit of time. Gotta do a few things before the game starts, but I got a little bit of time. So let's just go ahead and let's just talk about, this game. I mean, I don't really know if I want to talk about this game, to be honest. I want to beat the Aints. Let me go ahead and say that. Fuck those guys. I want to beat them. But it feels like there's enough that can be said. We know what's at stake today. If we win versus the Aints and the Bucks lose versus the Panthers, we're NFC South champions. And that would then mean, obviously, we're in the playoffs. We get a home playoff game in the Bins next weekend. However, if we don't win versus the Saints, or even let's say we do, but Tampa wins, then, that just leaves a whole bunch of uncertainty ahead for this team. So, to me, you're asking me what I want. I've said it, and I'm going to say it one more time. I want to win the division. I want to obviously beat the Aints, and I want the Panthers to win versus the Bucks. I make no bones in saying that. That is what I want to happen. Do I think that is going to happen? Probably not. I would love for it to happen, and I think it can happen. If you were to ask me a percentage chance of it happening, I'd probably say about 15% is probably what I'd say. There's probably about a 15% chance that we end the day as NFC South champions. So with that being said, if you were to ask me, can we win this game today? 50-50. I think anything can happen. I definitely could see us winning. I could see us losing this game. I don't want to lose the game, but I could see us losing this game because looking at how this season has gone, anything can happen. We don't even know who's starting at quarterback today. If I were a betting man, I would probably say they'll throw Heineke out there. He did practice every day this week. He's going to probably end up going. But I would not be all that shocked to see Desmond Ridder today. I wouldn't be. And listen, he could start for all we know. One way or another, though, I think the big story in this game, nonetheless, and we all know it, is Arthur Smith. How this game goes is the icing on top of the cake for Arthur Smith and his fate. And a lot of people will say, well, Arthur Blank is not going to make a decision off of this one game. No, Baker's in. Baker is in. Baker's playing. So a lot of people are going to say that, but and that's not the truth. This is not just based off of one game. This is based off of an entire season of, I don't even know if there's a word for how bad we fucked this thing up. From, and listen, a lot of us rolled with Ridder. I rolled with Ridder. A lot of other Falcons fans rolled with Ridder. We thought he was going to be the answer. We were okay with Ridder being our quarterback this year. Yes, sir, Jerry. We're going to go down there. We're going to beat the shit out of you guys. We're going to beat the shit out of y'all, man. But for real, we rolled with Ridder because we didn't think he was going to have to do much. Between Bijan, Tyler, Drake, Pitts, Jonnu, all the weapons that CP. So, with that being said, it wasn't expected that Ridder was going to have to do much in general. That he was just going to be, his job was get the ball in the hands of your playmakers and let them do the rest. And maybe here and there, Ridder has to make a play. But with that being said, That's not what happened. It's not. And this offense was really supposed to be an offense that was supposed to run the ball 30, 40 times a game. Now, with that being said, is that going to work every single week? No. There was going to have to be a point in the season where Ridder was going to have to come out and he was going to have to contribute. He was going to have to play a part. And Desmond Ridder, up until the whatever you want to call it, we need a name for that throw that he made in Carolina. We call the Mariota one the grenade toss. I'm honestly just going to say, is the Mariota toss up right? That's what it was. It was the same motion. It was that bad. It was that identical. But up until that point, he was like the best fourth quarter quarterback in the NFL. So, with all of that being said, that just shows you this has been such an up and down season. We started off 2-0, and I don't think any of us could have imagined that when this schedule came out. When did the schedule come out? I think it was May 11th. I don't think any of us could have imagined that by this point, back on May 11th, we would be talking about 3 straight 7-10 seasons. And yeah, we got a chance at the playoffs. So, but with that being said, we weren't expecting to be in this position. We just weren't. We were expecting to probably already have a playoff spot locked up, maybe even talking about resting starters. But that's not the position we're in. We are in a legitimately the situation that we're in is such a tough situation, I think, to explain, to process, because this season was not what we were expecting. We knew at times it would be ugly, but with how disappointing these games have gone, it just makes this season, as we start to look back on it, with one game left to go in all likelihood. Now, there could be more. We could have one more game after today. And how, after everything that has happened, I don't know. Actually, I do know. We're in the NFC South. But, and see, that was the other thing, too. With how awful this division was, we should have ran away with it. We should have. We should have ran away with it. Let's see, because see y'all in the chat, BR, Jerry, Dondre, I hope I'm saying your name right. Dondre Trice, Arjun, who is your favorite Falcons player? Right now, I'd probably have to say Drake London. Right now, I'd probably have to say Drake London. But at the end of the day, I'm all about the logo. That's what it is. I love the player if you're playing here. And if you do it so much to a certain extent, you do so much for this team, I love you for life. Love Matt Ryan. I wasn't happy with how Julio left, but I got nothing but love for Julio. See, Andre says Kyle Pitts and Robinson. I don't know about Pitts, man. I really don't. And Bijan, I can definitely see that. But, and another thing, too, this actually just brings up a point. We were supposed to be running the ball 30, 40 times a game. So, when you are coming out and running the same 2-3 run plays a game, and it's either that sweep that I think they've only came up with in the recent weeks, that the sweep that they, because at least earlier in the year, you saw a little bit more life from this running game. But these past few weeks, it's been the same 2-3. It's either the outside zone or that little motion sweep that they do with Bijan. And whatever side it is, I don't know. It's whatever side Arthur Smith wakes up on the bed. So, Yeah, I see the fucking Aints fans in here. Fuck the Aints. I would drop that link, but I don't got that time. I don't got that time this morning. I'll be doing that after the game. We'll be dropping the link after the game. We'll be talking about everything that goes on in this game. But with that being said, it's the same 2-3 plays. And occasionally we might go up the gut with Algier, which is what we really should be doing a lot of the game, especially in the second half, to wear these opponents down. Why we aren't and see, this is the big issue for the Falcons. This has been another big issue. The offense will come out and have an amazing opening drive that ends in either a missed field goal, us having to settle in for 3 and Koo making it, or we'll go for it in the red zone. Ridder will get picked off. We don't get the 4th down conversion. Like that game versus Tampa? Like, we have such a great opening drive for it to just be run by some bullshit. And then after that, this offense might have one scoring drive. And this isn't necessarily the past few weeks. This is just for the season. We would be lifeless until the 4th quarter. Let's see. I want to talk about this. Taylor or Desmond? Let me think about that. Actually, you know what? Let me think about that. Are we talking about for today or moving forward? Give me some clarification on that. Today or moving forward? But with that being said, this has been such a disappointing season for today. You really want to know who I want? Someone you didn't even put in there, Logan Woodside. Between those two men, I don't really give a shit. I really don't. I really don't give a shit one way or another. So with that being said, to me, this has just been a tough season, but we still have a chance to win the NFC South. But now it's time to talk about what looms ahead. What is at stake for today? You say it probably will be Heinicke, and I don't give a shit. It could be Heinicke, it could be Ridder. I don't care who it is. I really don't at this point. That's neither here or there, because if you want, okay, I'll go ahead and say this. I feel like Heinicke in this type of game could give you the best chance to win, but you don't know what the hell you're going to get out of Ridder. Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. So what's at stake today is we could be talking about it at the end of the day. We're NFC South champions, or Arthur Smith could be getting fired. Now, I'll go ahead and say, as much as I would love, to have a clear-cut decision tonight so we can talk about it and unravel, we're not going to get one until at the earliest tomorrow, because there is going to be a meeting of the minds regardless of what happens, regardless of if we win, we lose. There's going to be a meeting of the minds if we do not win the NFC South, which I think at that point, there's still going to be that meeting. You're still going to have that meeting where it's going to be Arthur Blank, Terry Fontenot, and Arthur Smith. It's going to be those 3 guys, and Terry is safe. Terry is safe. I'm sure he's already talked with Terry. They're in the box together, so I'm sure Arthur Blank has already had a talk with Terry. Terry's had his miscues, but overall, Terry's done a pretty damn good job. He has. And if you're calling for Terry Fontenot to be fired, I don't know what the fuck to tell you, but that ain't the way to go. Terry, overall, you can say, well, he ain't got the quarterback, but at the end of the day, Arthur Smith didn't do the best job in putting that quarterback, i.e. Desmond Ridder, in the best situation to succeed all the time. He didn't. All right, Jerry, man, I'll see you later. Fuck your ain't. But with that being said, he didn't put him in the best situation. So there's going to be that meeting. And that is where I think they're going to figure out where to go from there. And I think, personally, if you're asking me what happens, if we win today, I think Arthur Smith stays. I think he does. We win and we win the South, he's definitely staying. But if we win today and let's say Tampa wins, we win but we don't win the South, he's going to stay, but you're going to see change on that staff. He's going to make him go out and make changes within that coaching staff. There ain't going to be no Dave Ragone at offensive coordinator. There's going to be a quarterback coach. There's going to be a lot of mandates. And Terry Fontenot, I really feel like Arthur Blank is going to assign Terry Fontenot with the task to go out and fill that staff. Arthur Smith will have say, but it's going to be Terry really leading the way because Terry's proven he can do it with Nielsen. But with that being said, let's say we do lose. I think Arthur Smith is done. I do. I think it would be the icing on the cake. 3 straight 7-10 seasons. We go down to New Orleans and we lose today. I think he's done. And I think we're talking about, we'll get the word tomorrow. And that's where I am because the report is that Arthur Blank is torn. He doesn't know what he wants to do. He wants to keep Arthur Smith, but he really feels like, especially that it's not the best business move right now. And if we lose tomorrow, or we lose today, my bad, that will be the icing on the cake. This game in New Orleans is going to decide a lot for where this team is moving. It's going to decide a whole lot for where this team is moving. And when you look at that from a perspective standpoint, that's a tough situation to be in. It is. It's a situation I don't think we expected to be in. We wanted to, I think, be talking. Obviously, we expected to be talking about being in a better spot than we are right now. But that just is not the case. It's not. So there's a lot riding on this game today. There's a lot at stake. We could win the NFC South, or this could be Arthur Smith's final game as a Falcon head coach. And I really don't know, what else there is, to be said. We got, about 2.5 hours till kickoff. I really don't have much of anything else to be said. Let's watch the game and let's beat the Aints. But it's just so tough to say where we're going from here. It is. So with that being said, let's go beat the Aints. Panthers, do your job. Beat the Bucks. Will both of those happen? Odds are probably not. But hey, it's been 7 years since we won a division title. Six since we made the playoffs. When are we going to say enough is enough? That's the thing. When are we going to say that enough is enough? So with that being said, man, I'll see you guys after the game. And maybe we'll be NFC South champions. Maybe we'll be officially in full force. Arthur Smith needs to be fired mode. Maybe we will be on that fire Arthur Smith train. Maybe that's going to be all that we're talking about. Or anything in between. But, man, appreciate you all for coming through on this Sunday morning. Final NFL Week 18, man. It's Week 18. Final week of the NFL regular season. God, this is why I'm still just waking up and I gotta. My head is just spinning, man. It really is. Thinking about this bullshit, but. Final week of the regular season. I hope it's not the final week for the Falcons. I really don't. The final week of the regular season. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.